Hello, fellow adventurers. Megan McSwain here, and today we're diving into the world of destination promotion and tourism. Joining us today is Samantha Cole, the Director of Public Relations at Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. Hello, Samantha. Welcome to Travel-Preneur.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm
For
excited.
sure. So, Samantha, in your role, how do you leverage multimedia storytelling to showcase the unique offerings of Montgomery County?
Sure. So we at Valley Forge Tourism, so it's a little unique because we identify with Valley Forge, but
Right.
we are actually all of Montgomery County, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And the reason that we do that is because there are so many Montgomery counties across the country that Valley Forge is actually nationally and internationally recognized. A little fun fact there. And what we do from a marketing and communication standpoint is we have this overarching Visit Valley Forge brand. And then beneath that, we really lead with our sub brands or different campaigns, really. So those cater to all types of people with very different, unique interests. So we have marketing campaigns, for instance, one is called Embark that targets dog-friendly folks, people that have pets that are looking to come to an area that's very dog-friendly to travel with their dog. We have Crave Mocha, which is putting a spotlight on all restaurants, breweries, wineries, distilleries in Montgomery County. So really having those different unique brands, we call them, but they're really marketing campaigns to talk to folks of all different interests.
Right. And what are some of the, I know you mentioned some of these, but what are some of the standout stories or experiences that have resonated with visitors? Maybe not so much locals, but like people from out of town who have come and, really kind of enjoyed themselves and maybe things that our listeners wouldn't know about.
So we actually recently partnered with an influencer back in the fall, and we know that our audience is really looking for family-friendly things to do. And
Right.
we actually had this was our first influencer campaign that really went viral. The videos generated over 4 million views across
Oh,
all
wow.
content. Yeah, so we were super thrilled about this. And the influencer really just came out to Montgomery County from Philadelphia and showcased in an itinerary format what a weekend getaway would really look like in Montgomery County. So, dining, attractions. They visited this really cool greenhouse, Mum Mountain, also a fall themed train ride that's perfect for families. And we know, as I mentioned, that our audience is really looking for that family friendly thing to do, that attraction, really things to do in the weekend. We actually had several moms after this campaign go live tag us in very similar content that the influencer published saying, "Hey, I followed what so and so did when they went out to Montgomery County. I went to this restaurant. I went to Ott's and Mum Mountain. I went to Colebrookdale." So really seeing them follow that itinerary so closely, we actually then were even able to go to the Colebrookdale, which was the railroad, and say, "Hey, did you guys see an uptick in ticket sales here? Did you guys see an increase
Mhm.
in website visitation?" And they were like, "Absolutely." We actually had comparing this year to last year, we had over 1,200 more train rides
Wow.
during that time frame because of this campaign. So it's so cool to see those results and to be like, "All right, this is working," you know?
Influencer marketing is really up there with magazines and papers now, maybe even more sometimes, because
Yeah.
they're just so visual and people really want to kind of live through that video or that photo. So, in the competitive tourism landscape, what strategies does Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board, beyond influencer marketing, employ to stand out and capture the attention of potential visitors? Do you guys do, I mean, I'm sure there's newsletters and things like that, say like advertising on the internet, but beyond influencer marketing, what else can you guys share?
So, our president and CEO really challenges us to get creative, be bold, be different. And our team, I think we do that. We kind of look at things a little bit differently. We have a mascot. We're one of the only tourism boards that really has a mascot. So, his name's Monty the Fox, is at different
I was gonna
events.
say, yeah, who's the mask?
We also have several different publications, as a lot of tourism boards do, like a visitor's guide, a dining
Nice.
guide, an arts guide, a golf guide. Our team also created a comic book too, because because there are so many different historical venues and historical things that took place right here in Montgomery County. So we
Mhm.
have a comic book series that really focuses on the history that took place here in Montgomery County. Our marketing team also, as part of our summer campaigns, has flown airplanes with banners across the Jersey Shore promoting our summer campaign. So, really looking at things a little bit differently. And I know we were just talking about influencers too, but as part of that Embark Monco campaign, when we first launched that, we actually invited a Instagram famous dog to come out and serve
Oh, nice.
social media influencer to come out and
Yeah.
really promote those dog-friendly things to do in Montgomery
Yeah.
County and show that to his audience, which is hopefully a lot of dog owners. My dog, I think, has more Instagram followers than I do.
It's so
But
much fun. This episode is brought to you by Travel-Payments.com. Travel businesses have unique needs when it comes to credit card processing. From large average ticket sizes and tolerance for higher chargeback ratios to simple integrations with the most popular shopping cart systems, the travel industry specialists at Travel-Payments.com have you covered. Unfortunately, many of the most popular credit card processors initially accept travel businesses, but without warning, freeze their merchant accounts and the thousands of dollars in them because these service providers don't understand or support the unique needs of travel industry business. Don't get stuck with one of the big guys who will freeze you out without a moment's notice. Instead, work with the travel industry specialists who will support your business every step of the way. Visit travelpayments.com to get a free quote today. So, Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board places a strong emphasis on DEI. How does the organization translate these core values into its promotional efforts and engagement with visitors?
we believe that everybody should be represented in all of our marketing materials. So whether that's the publications that I mentioned, the graphics in our advertising and marketing, in our videos, our photo shoot talent. We've also experimented a little bit with adding a translation option to some of our social media advertising as well. So translating our copy to different languages and really just focusing and putting a spotlight on minorities and minority owned businesses too. So right now our team is firming up our list for Black-owned businesses for ahead of Black History Month. So those are just a few of the things that we've done here at the tourism board.
So, like you mentioned, Make It Montco as a destination, Montgomery County encourages visitors to probably use that hashtag on social channels and, when they're posting. How does this mantra align with a commitment to diversity? And how do you ensure that the region is welcoming to a wide range of travelers with that kind of Make It Montco?
Right. So make a Monco, that is our branded hashtag. That is part of our core values. But in our core values, we also have make it inclusive. And we really believe that too. So the Valley Forge National Historical Park, which is what I mentioned in the beginning, that's kind of how we identify ourselves. We have that Valley Forge name in our name. And we say that the gateways of Montgomery County are really Valley Forge National Historical Park and the Welcome Center, the Montgomery County Welcome Center at the park. That means that we have marketing materials over there that are in all different languages because we are welcoming people from all over the world to that Welcome Center and to Montgomery County.
With the evolving landscape of travel and tourism, especially like after COVID, right? It's a whole different world now. What trends do you anticipate will shape the industry, and how is Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board preparing for those? Or have you guys kind of already started noticing that you're implementing new things?
Yeah, so I think we touched on it a little bit earlier in the podcast, but we are noticing that, especially the data that our team is looking at, that folks and the younger generations, especially, are looking to social media to plan travel. We're really focused on that. We're partnering with local videographers too to come out and capture the hidden gems in Montgomery County. So things that folks can't necessarily get everywhere. We want to make sure that we're putting a spotlight on those hidden gems that are exclusive to our area. But we know that folks are really looking to social media, TikTok specifically, which is so fascinating. And I mean, I find myself doing it too. Definitely social media. And I think influencers, we at the tourism board really consider them PR now too, with the
Right.
ever-changing landscape. And we are looking to influencers to push out our stories and tell our stories. So incorporating them into launches of campaigns and making sure that they're sharing out our releases, things like that.
Mhm. And in the age of digital communication and social media, How crucial is the online platforms? Like, are there online newsletter blasts that you guys use? I mean, of course, social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of that great stuff. I mean, it's so easy to use. What strategies prove the most effective in this day and age?
Being consistent on all platforms, I think, is absolutely crucial. Our marketing team, they do push out regular e-blasts as well to our subscriber base, making sure that our web content is up to date too, and just offering those experiences and those things to do for those families and those folks that are visiting or locally too that are just really looking for something to do. It's funny because I've been with the tourism board for almost 6 years now. Next month, it'll be 6 years, and before me, there wasn't a full-time social media person, and now there are a
Yeah.
few different people. There's at least 2 on our team that are really contributing to the day-to-day content that we're pushing out, so it kinda speaks to that ever-changing landscape and the
Yeah.
ever-changing world of social media and how organizations are really pushing out their messages.
And these days, social media isn't taking a photo in that moment and posting it. It's content creation, which
Yep.
requires so much planning. And I mean, sometimes an entire team, you have to kind of figure out where you're going to be shooting that photo or that video. So there's just so much more that goes into it than it used to be, even 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we have meetings here that are just called content planning meetings. So we
Yeah.
are putting together content calendars and reviewing them with appropriate members of the team, making sure that all businesses that we want to make sure are included are represented and what days we're pushing these blogs or these campaigns, user generated content, things like that. So
Yeah.
it is, I mean, I love it. It's what I do every single day, but it is fascinating just seeing how much it's changed just over the last few years. When I went to college, I graduated in 2015, social media wasn't even like a concentration or social media marketing. And now they
Right.
do offer classes and courses and minors and concentrations under the school in which I graduated from. So it is fascinating watching it kind of turn into
Right.
what it's so hard too because you'll learn it, you'll learn the back end of Meta, you'll learn
Yeah.
business manager, everything like that, and then they are always changing it. So then
Yeah.
you go in the next day and it looks completely different and you're like, "All right." So, but it keeps you on your
It
toes.
keeps you on your toes, that's for sure, yeah, and, with a destination that's got so much going on, I find that social media really is more than a story. I mean, I'm a writer and I've written plenty of stories, but social media brings the ideas to life. Sometimes I feel like these campaigns go further than a story can sometimes. So as someone deeply involved in promoting a destination, how do you think travelpreneurs can align their businesses with DEI principles for a more inclusive travel industry?
I mean, I think you said it, just keep it inclusive, vow to continue to develop a safe space for travelers and
Yeah.
residents in your area, ensuring that they feel represented and that really everybody feels welcome to come out and visit or live
Mhm.
in your area, in your region.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the residents too, because we've touched a lot on visitors and out of
Yeah.
towners and tourism, but it's also kind of making sure that that doesn't encroach on the people that choose to live there and want to
Yeah.
live there and are open to the fact that they're where they live is a tourist maybe destination, but kind of the balance between both of them.
Absolutely, and the people that work here too,
Yeah.
business owners or just everybody.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Samantha. This is so interesting to hear about how a certain place really kind of shares their stories with everyone else in the world. So I really appreciate you sharing these key insights. Thank you for joining us today and talking to us about Valley Forge and Montco. What's the hashtag
Yeah.
again? Make it Montco.
Also
Make it Montco. I love that. It's cute. So let our listeners know where they can learn more about Valley Forge and where they can connect with you.
Absolutely. Well, first, thank you so much for having me. This was awesome. Thank you. And on social, you can follow us at Visit Valley Forge. And on Facebook, we are at Visit Valley Forge and Monco. And our website is valleyforge.org. So we can't wait to welcome you guys to Montgomery County.
Great. Thank you so much, Samantha. To our listeners, please follow and subscribe for future episodes, and we will see you next time on Travelpreneur.